Okay, update on crypto here on March 14th, 2022. And so we'll start with the monthly charts just to get some broad context. Where are we? Chart of Ether on the left, chart of Bitcoin on the right. And so starting with Ether, as I said in the previous video, um, given the way February was closing out, March was setting up to be an inside month. And that's what we're getting here. Inside meaning, I mean, you can see these lines. Last month, so February, had a high at 3284 and a low at 2300. That's obviously a big range. We're still inside that range. So we haven't made a new high, we haven't made a new low as it like but we have about half of a month left. And so you could easily see, we're obviously much closer to making a new low now at 2300. We're about $230 away than we are making a new high, which is like, $800 away. But assuming that we remain an inside month this month, then we get our resolution next month in April. I see it's probably more likely that we make a low here below the February low, below 2300. Maybe we get a rebound, sets us up for like a swing low this month. We'll have to see. The other level down, of course, is the low from January, which is 2160. We'll have to see if we get all the way down there. But so far, still just an inside month, and we'll zoom into the lower time frames. And Bitcoin is a very, very similar situation. In the case of Bitcoin, we came much, much closer to making a new high this month. So I should say matching the high from last month. So last month's high was essentially 46,000, which is also the daily cycle high. And we got incredibly close. So what is that? 45,332. So we missed it by like 700 bucks. Um, so we almost made that new high, and then we've come back and failed again. Just like Ether, we are still an inside month. Still plenty of time to change that, make a new low. In this case, below 34,000. Um, Either way, this is all just consolidation for this entire month, which again is also February being an inside month of January, which is the same for Ether. So we've really been inside the range of January for 2 months now. And if we zoom into the weekly chart now, you can see we still have that weekly swing low in place. I'll zoom into Ether week 31. Yet it does look like this is about to break down. So this low here is at 2160. And so we'll have to see. Um, it's entirely possible that this was a weekly cycle low, and this is a new weekly cycle that's about to roll over, which would be the more bearish interpretation. Obviously, also possible that we haven't had the weekly cycle low yet, and that's still to come. So we're now technically on week 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'd be on week 38. And last weekly cycle ended on week 39. And so totally possible that we're still going to get that lower low, which is what I suspect. What's not clear is if the next weekly cycle is going to be bearish or bullish. Um, that's going to be what really tells you if we have a larger top, which right now it does seem like we do. And then we go to Bitcoin. Again, very similar situation. We've essentially been consolidating these last 4 weeks. We had this kind of false breakout indicated by this upper wick. I suspect we make a lower low to print an ICL, maybe later in this month, as early as next week even. But we'll have to see. Because I do expect, and we'll go to the daily cycle charts now. I do expect the next ICL to coincide with the next daily cycle low. So looking at Bitcoin, it's day 49 of the daily cycle, which usually lasts about 60 days. So we're much closer to the end. And I would expect that we're going to get some capitulation selling in the next, 10 trading days to easily come down, test this low, maybe even probably break it. Um, and very similar situation for Ether, which is also on day 49. So again, probably not a ton of time left in this daily cycle. And I would expect that when we get our daily cycle low, we also get our weekly cycle low or ICL. So we'll have to see. So yeah, again, day 49 for Ether. Expect it's going to roll over and make a new low below 2300 and probably below 2160 as well. And the rest of the cryptos look very much very similar. I'd say the best looking crypto of all is Luna. If like you had to be in something, it would be Luna. I mean, look at this beautiful uptrend. We had this rocket launch. We had this rocket launch. Then we have a low. What is this? It's a higher low, right? It's a low that's higher than this low, right? And then we make a move up. We get another low. What is this? It's a higher low, right? This low higher than this low. Get another move up. What is this? That's right. It's a higher low. This low higher than this low, higher than this low. Now, this is not ideal because this low is lower than this high, right? You have high, low, high, low, high, low. We'd ideally want this low to be higher than this one. So this isn't ideal, but again, if you're thinking about all the cryptos right now, this is definitely the best looking chart. That's the daily. The weekly does not look great because this is essentially a bearish rising wedge, right? Like this is this is ripe for a pullback, and you can imagine that pullback could easily take you back to wow. I mean, that would really suck to come down 50% after this little rally, but this is definitely going to get corrected. Maybe down to like here at the very least. So that gets you down to the $70 area. So I think there's a buying opportunity to come for Luna as well. I wouldn't jump in here. But if you had to have exposure to a crypto, this would be the one.